All thanks and praises unto Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai Bahashem Warakwadash. Peace, blessings, much respect to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. On down to the rest of the elders who rule well within Israel. Salutations to the hopeful elect throughout the four corners of this whole entire earth, no matter where, whom they may be, or what they may look like, pushing out this purified truth. To the rest of the church who believe as well, you men who may not be teachers or prophets, you women, sons, and daughters as well. The water to Yahweh Shai, because without him enduring and going to that cross for the nation of Israel and the nation of Israel alone, none of this would even be possible whatsoever. So I have the book of Luke, chapter 6 and 45 pulled up, and this is what it reads. A good man out of the good treasure of his heart bringeth forth that which is good. And an evil man out of the evil treasure of his heart bringeth forth that which is evil. For of the abundance of the heart his mouth speaketh. So based off of what's in your thoughts, it's going to show in your actions, and it's also going to show in what you speak. And a lot of people who claim to be believers, who claim to believe in the Messiah, who claim to be Christians, their actions show different. Their words show different. Verse 46, and why call ye me Lord, Lord, and do not the things which I say? So how could you say you believe in the Messiah, but you do nothing that he asks of you? A lot of people make up their own way, their own righteousness. How can you believe in a man, but you reject his words? You say, oh, these aren't his words. These words within the Bible, oh, they're questionable. Who knows? Who knows if he really existed? Who knows if he performed the miracles? You have a lot of hypocrites, while at the same time will tell you in your face they believe, and their actions show that they don't believe. The scriptures tell you about the heart being the mind. Let's touch on Jeremiah chapter 17 and verse 9. The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? So out of the mind, that shows who you are. And how is it going to show? It's going to show through action and through the things, the words that you speak. Okay? So you can't claim to be a follower of Yahweh Shai, and it's not showing in your words, it's not showing in your action. The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? Hebrews chapter 10 and verse 26. For if we sin willfully after that we have received the knowledge of the truth, there remaineth no more sacrifice for sins. You know how many Israelites have heard this truth and have pretended like they haven't heard this truth? You know how many of our people have come across this word one way or another, and then they go back to their life like it doesn't matter? They feel like they can just put it off from day to day. They feel like as long as they have a personal relationship, as a lot of people say, they'll be okay. As long as they follow their own heart and what they feel is right and wrong, when ultimately that's going to lead them down the path of destruction. For if we sin willfully after that we have received the knowledge of the truth, and how are you receiving it? You're receiving this word through the prophets. There remaineth no more sacrifice for sins. So you can't claim to be of Yahweh Shai and you're not doing anything that he's saying. And then he has men that are set up, that have been set up to teach you this word, to tell you the words that he has spoken. He's speaking through us. So how could you reject the word? How could you forsake what we're saying, ignore our whole existence, and then at the same time say, yeah, I believe in the Bible. Yeah, I'm a Christian. I believe in the Messiah. I believe those words are true, but it's not showing in your actions. So a lot of you Israelites, you're in trouble. You know you're an Israelite. You heard this truth for a lot of you. Now, for those of you, this may be your first time. You may be in darkness, and this be your first time hearing this word. Well, guess what? Now that you've heard the word, the accountability starts for real. Because you can't come into this ministry and then turn back. And then also, You can't hear this word. Okay, have time to ponder on it and then keep ignoring it, keep rejecting it, and think things are going to work out for you. For if we sin willfully after that we have received the knowledge of the truth, there remaineth no more sacrifice for sin. So you're a willful sinner if you've heard this truth and you still want to be wicked. You've come into this ministry, you've performed part of the vow, and then you went back into the world. There's no excuse, all right, because you heard the word. And that's something these so-called Christians, which the real Christians are the Hebrew Israelites. But these so-called Christians of today, they're not the real Christians, because the real Christians are going to do what Yahweh Shai has asked. John 15:22. If I had not come and spoken unto them, they had not had sin. But now they have no cloak for their sins. So seeing that this word has gone out, it's still going out. There is no cloak for the sins of our people. There's no excuse. And the problem being that our people are willingly ignorant. Our people believe in the lies and everything that's contrary to the Bible. But when it comes to this word, they forsake it. They cast it behind their back. They're just not interested. They're not even moved by it, man. Really, they're just taking up space. They're just in the way. If I had not come and spoken unto them, they had not had sin. But now they have no cloak for their sin. So once you hear this word, what's your excuse? You see the Hebrew Israelites out there on the streets doing exactly what the prophets of old did. What's your excuse? We're telling you things before they happen, and then some of these things are actually happening right now. What's your excuse? You don't have one. Okay? A lot of you Israelites, you are doing what the scripture says not to do. Okay, you're at a point now where the ball's in your court, but you're just going out of bounds with it. If I had not come and spoken unto them, they had not had sin, but now they have no cloak for their sin. So you heard this word. How could you say, Lord, Lord, and you're not doing anything that he's asking of you to do? And then you might say, well, I didn't know. Yes, you did know, because we're telling you. You're just being rebellious and hard-headed for a lot of you. Let's go to 1 John chapter 5:17. All unrighteousness is sin, and there is a sin not unto death. And another thing, a lot of people in this world, they try to make it seem like all sin is the same. Sin is sin, no matter what. You know, they'll reflect on where it's written, whoever is without sin cast the first stone. But all sin is not the same. If someone's committing adultery, that's not the same level of sin as someone who's wearing mixed fabrics. Yeah, they're both sins, but they're two different levels of sin. And people in this world try to make all sin equal. So if you're a sodomite, well, if you're wearing mixed fabric, who are you to try to condemn a sodomite? That's how this world operates. Not all sin is the same. That's a lie from this world. Not all sin is the same. And once you hear this word, you're accountable. You keep using the mercy of the Lord as an excuse to keep trying to, pass time and bypass what you're supposed to be doing. All unrighteousness is sin, and there is a sin not unto death. So what is a sin not unto death? You might be eating pork because you might have ordered a pizza. You ordered a cheese pizza. But this cheese pizza was made on the same pan in the same oven that the pepperoni pizza was made in, right? So now you have residue of pork bacteria or whatever in your food. So now although it's unknowingly, you're still sinning because you're defiling your body. But that's not the same as someone who's willingly going out here and murdering people, murdering their brother, willingly going out here and lying on the gospel. There are levels to sin. Not all sin is the same. That is a lie from hell. And that's something you hear in this world. Well, all sin is the same. Sin is sin. We're all sinners. So you can't say something about this person when you yourself are a sinner. All unrighteousness is sin. So all sin is sin. But guess what? And there is a sin not unto death, because not all sin is the same. What's an example of a sin unto death? Adultery, being a sodomite, trying to influence one of your brethren to serve other gods. You know, these are sins that typically are supposed to come with a death sentence. But then there are other sins where it may not necessarily come with a death sentence, but it's a sin. And a good one is what? Wearing mixed fabrics. Okay? That is a sin. That's a transgression, but it's not necessarily a sin unto death. But the people of this world, they try to mesh all these things together and make it a light matter when we come and get on our people. Okay? All sin is not the same. Let's touch on the book of 2nd Ezra. 2nd Ezra chapter 15 and verse 22. My right hand shall not spare sinners, and my sword shall not cease over them that shed innocent blood over the earth. The fire is gone forth from his wrath, and hath consumed the foundations of the earth, and the sinners like the straw that is kindled. Woe to them that sin and keep not my commandments, saith the Lord. So how are you going to be a Christian or a believer and you're not trying to keep the commandments? You're not doing anything that's been asked of you to do. And a lot of you people are doing that, whether you're an Israelite or you're a heathen. And a heathen has no doings with this anyway. But you have a lot of heathen who claim to be Bible believers, who claim to believe in God, who say they have a relationship with that Jesus character, because that's not the Messiah's real name. Okay? But they're not doing anything that's written in the word, though. And if they are doing anything that's written in the word, they're picking and choosing on the things that they want to actually apply to their life, while casting out other things. Woe to them that sin and keep not my commandments, saith the Lord. I will not spare them. Go your way, ye children, from the power. Defile not my sanctuary. So don't expect to be spared if you're not doing anything that the Heavenly Father through his only begotten Son has asked. Okay, do not be deceived. For the Lord knoweth all them that sin against him, and therefore delivereth he them unto death and destruction. For now are the plagues come upon the whole earth, and ye shall remain in them. For the power shall not deliver you, because ye have sinned against him. And our people just constantly sin against the Lord. And then they'll justify it by saying, well, you know, sin is sin. So, you know, we're all imperfect. So, you know, what can you do? Just keep on being wicked. And then when the time is right, just pray to God. That's how a lot of you live. All sin is not the same. Yes, we are sinners. But the whole thing is we have to try our best not to be willful sinners. Okay? This love that we're showing our people, they hate us for it. And the love that we're showing our people is this truth. And the truth of the matter is a lot of people have what they call to be, I guess you can call it their truth, which is really just an opinion. But a lot of people claim to have their own little belief in whatever that they believe in, but then try to mesh that with the scriptures. It's like if you're going to be an atheist, just be an atheist all the way. Leave the Bible out of it. If you're going to question the Bible, then stop trying to quote scriptures. You know what I mean? But a lot of people, they're fake as hell. They're phonies, man. They are phony. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and close it there. So I pray that this lesson, it was easy to be understood and edifying. All praises unto our power, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Wa Rakakwadash, Shalom.